All right. With enough talk of that stuff behind the scenes that you'll never know.
Unless you
This,
subscribe to the Patreon.
yeah, well, I don't record that stuff anymore. So,
No.
um, the behind the scenes stuff you get now is like updates and stuff. So, with that in mind, though, Star Trek Europa, that is this show. I am your storyteller for the day. I am. My name is Jeff Harvey. I lost myself somewhere. Evelyn drew up my stride. Um, let's go ahead
Wait,
and do introductions, and then we'll come back to what I do. So
Yeah,
let's.
Dev, quit it.
Stab is the worst.
I'll just go to bed.
I'm pretty tired. Brian, go ahead and do an intro.
I'm Brian. I am playing multiple characters, including Yezabeth Page, the Trill Ops Officer of the USS Europa. As far as plugging things, I am hosting a one-shot of Avatar Legends for a fundraiser, which Jack, I'm sure will talk to you more soon. But it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday evening. Tune in and you'll get a chance to add villains to scenes and drop them in to make the players' lives a little bit more frantic.
That's Wednesday, July 27th for those people who are listening to this afterwards. But I'm certain that once the show is over, you can catch the VOD on Jack's channel, I'm assuming. So,
Jack, your banner's not up.
Oh yeah, my donation banner.
Anything else you want to throw out there, Brian?
There
Or are
you
you
go.
good?
Nope, that's it.
All right, Evelyn, go ahead.
I'm Evelyn. You can find me on TikTok at Caffeinatrix. You can find me over on Twitch at St. Pete by Night on the Vampire V5 server that I help moderate and play in. And I apparently will be your problem child in and out of character this evening. The most problematic of all being Dr. Dasave Onayet, the CMO for the moment, CMO probably for a while yet, and the present XO, we'll see.
We'll see. Making Starfleet mad. All right, Jack, what do you got?
Starfleet shouldn't co-sign bullshit behavior.
Yeah. Super judgy.
Yes, hello. I'm Jack. It's the end of July and I barely know who I am anymore, so I'm right here with all of these fantastic people. Yes, you can find me over at my own channel, twitch.tv/The People's Ascension, and its associated YouTube, which is currently youtube.com/all kinds of numbers and letters, but go follow us over there so I can get a really useful personalized URL, because that's going to be really helpful. But what I normally do is a series called RPGs Uncovered, a series dedicated to showing just how quick and easy it can be to learn a new TTRPG. However, throughout this month, we have been on a bit of a hiatus for that, and instead I've been running my month of one-shots charity drive for reproductive rights and abortion access. This is the last week of that. We have a lot of really cool games lined up. Brian already mentioned that he's going to be around tomorrow. That is tomorrow, the 27th of July, 6:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. That is going to be a game of Avatar Legends. I know almost nothing about Avatar Legends, which is why he's running it, and it's going to be great. Then if you like Star Trek, if you are here and you like this, you should come hang out with me on Thursday, because I will be running my own episode of Star Trek Adventures over on that channel. That is at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. EST. We're going to be playing cadets fresh out of the academy, or actually not even out of the academy, on a little shakedown cruise, and I'm sure it's going to be just fine, because why would they ever send cadets into a dangerous situation? Then we're going to have a double feature on Sunday, two horror games, a 90s inspired slasher feature, and then an aliens game. Maybe there's an asterisk. We just ran into a little hiccup there, but I'm going to try to run it myself. It wasn't the plan, but I'm going to try to get it done. So you can find more information about that and everything else we are doing for this charity event over on my own channel, twitch.tv/The People's Ascension. Namely, we are collecting donations for the National Abortion Federation and the Center for Reproductive Rights. You may see down below here that I have a little donation goal, and that is because Jeff has so kindly allowed. Instead, for tonight, I will be playing Captain Ronnie Ambrose, as well as a whole cast of other fantastic aliens and whatnot.
Awesome.
And somebody shot my ship.
Oh, there we go.
I'm especially excited about the whatnot.
True.
Yeah, there was a I don't know. I haven't been able to figure out this technical problem, but it keeps resetting on me every now and then. And anyways, it doesn't much matter. I am your host, as I said before. I'm your storyteller and game master, Jeff Harvey. This is my channel. Welcome. If you're watching on Jack's channel, also welcome, and feel free to give some monies. If you can't give any money, please feel free to share this with other people and let the world know about our show and about the charity event that is going on. You can find links to all my stuff in the link in the chat or in the show notes. It is linktree/Studio Tembo. That's a link tr.ee/Studio Tembo. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. We'll have more at the end of the show, but now I'm trying to figure out what broke on my computer. So go ahead and let's do a recap.
Oh, before we get into that, you reminded me not last week, but the week before to mention content warning.
Yes.
Because Star Trek has never shied away from topical conversations. And this episode, this little arc that we are on, fits right into exactly what I've been talking about: bodily autonomy, reproductive rights, that sort of thing.
Yes.
So there's I don't want to give too much away. We'll talk about it more in the recap. But there's some aliens with some very different morality to us. Forcefully sterilizing people if they are not intelligent enough or something like that. We'll talk
something
more
like
about
but
it.
Yes, there's for a fair content warning, this episode does contain topics such as bodily autonomy and reproductive rights and possible euthanasia and eugenics. So
Eugenics.
So there you go. There's your content warning. Go ahead and do a recap.
So we started off with Delphine following Ambrose onto the bridge, much to his great annoyance, and insisting she examine him. He reminded her that she is a nurse. Promotion can be discussed at a panel, and she reminds him that he discharged himself from sickbay after a crisis. He said, "You've seen my record. I've walked away from worse, and if I can stand, I will be at my post." He did eventually let her examine him, and she very snarkily said that in the future she'll let the CMO do his exams and submit her request in a few days later.
It was mostly about the attitude, not the examination himself. Ambrose understands examinations. It was the attitude. You don't come onto my bridge and talk to me like that.
Well, most.
Anyway.
A few days later, we rendezvoused with the Mackinac. We got some new orders. We were assigned to Starbase 173 by the Admiral Arlani to take on the Hidal. Getting some upgrades to the Europa. We met with Dr. Joanne, Niala, John, and Alara. John is Alara's son? Yeah. He's about 14-ish, rambunctious, easily fascinated by shiny objects and replicators. In scanning Alara to get her DNA and biology put into our data banks, we discovered that she had been probably very painfully and primitively, for all of their other technology, sterilized. And she informed us that intelligence is so highly prized in their society that if you don't meet the cut or make the cut, your child and their parents are prevented from further sullying the gene pool.
In essence, if you have a child who is not does not meet the standards, then clearly there's something defective with you, and you can't have more.
Right. which Dasavi took umbrage with and went and told the captain that this was not right, and while they couldn't go dictating what other cultures do, they could take a stand and refuse to do business with them. There's a contract in place that they were trading their, I think, warp tech, thruster tech.
Well, mostly power systems technologies. They're not. They have more advanced warp technology than you, but they're not giving you that technology. They're just giving you power systems technology.
Okay. In exchange for our replicator tech. So the conversation with Admiral Arlani was essentially that at the very least we would have to hold up our end of the deal, since they have already given us some of their power systems that they already upgraded the Mackinac, and he would take it back to the rest of the Admiralty. Dr. Jawan had a conversation with the captain, who had put a stop to the upgrades, and
And then there was something that happened.
yes. I was trying to see if there was any pertinent information. We did get word that there were some undercurrents and drive to make corrections, but nothing, not a big enough movement really. However, it was hinted at that the right words in the right places might help some folks out. Delphine was working on sorting out if she could find a way to reverse the sterilization. Postra and Niala were getting a little cozy. And then just at just near the end of Joanne and Ambrose's conversation, an explosion rocked the ship and things went black.
Yes. Anybody else want to add anything?
Delphine did find the tech that it theoretically could be done using the same sort of technology that had been used to replicate Worf's spine, and sent it off to Dasabi.
Right. And I believe that the groupings were, when last we left, it was Ambrose and Dr. Juan in the captain's ready room. Niala and Kostra were in engineering. Tong, Elizabeth, Illyra, and I believe John, although I can't remember if John was there or not, were all in the library access center, which is where the AEVA interface, the primary AEVA interface is.
Yeah.
Does that sound right to everybody?
O'Connor probably would have been with them in the library. That's where she typically spends her time unless she's on bridge. Mills would have been on bridge security, and Dasavi would have been in Med Bay working on the research at Delphine Center.
Right. Let's go ahead and set those up real quick. That's sick bay, and I'm assuming that Delphine would be in sick bay. Yes. I'm just gonna get my groups together so I know where everybody's at, because there's a lot going on. Let's see who else we've got. Security. Mills is on the bridge. Anybody else on the bridge? Oh yeah. Yes, I'm trying to think of her name right now. Shit. Command department. Silva. There she is. I know her name when I see it.
The name I just said?
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. You cut out a little bit. Where's Kendall at? Do we know?
No, I don't think it's been established right away.
Excellent. Then she can either show up or not show up as needed. So,
Sounds good.
The ship was rocked by something. There was no sensor warning. There was nothing that anyone was able to be informed of prior to its before the incident. Lights flashed across the bridge, and in the ready room, beams come down and sparks and rocks. For some reason, the ballast comes out of the ballast tanks and comes flying out and knocking
Lots of
people
rocks.
over. Lots of rocks. Put those there. I don't know if you guys saw those already, but so let me get my space here. Hang on. All right. On the bridge, there is a thick layer of smoke. There's some fire near the back of the bridge, in a couple of the science station areas. One of the posts where the ops department would be sitting has been hit by one of the beams. The unfortunate ensign that was working in that position, in that station, is most clearly dead. The lights are flashing red as the ship has gone to automatic red alert. Mills, you managed to get back to your feet. You were knocked out of the captain's chair where you were, going over the things that you do while you're sitting post. Silva, you've got a little cut on your face, and there's you can feel the blood trickling down the side of your cheek. The helm is unresponsive. There are no lights on any of the panels anywhere on the bridge. What do you guys want to do?
Mills will call for a status report. We can get one from where we're at.
So
just to set the scene, remind me: are we at a space dock for these retrofits?
No, they were being done in flight. You guys were headed towards Starbase 173, I believe.
Okay,
so you're in space.
Yeah.
Milani would climb up to the helm's seat and type some buttons in and quickly, helm's unresponsive, we're adrift. She'll read out the sectors that are damaged or that we have, I assume that it's numbers. We've got casualties on at least 4 decks. And casualty reports are still coming in. She'll look over.
Go ahead.
She'll look over to where the beam struck the unfortunate lieutenant, and she'll say, "And it looks like we've got some here
5 decks
ourselves."
So it looks like the reports are coming in, but they're coming in slowly. There's some kind of malfunction with the computer system. Like you don't have internal sensors, you don't have internal communications. There's a lot of damage. You do have some basic readouts, some status reports. People can manually enter in, their situation reports. You're seeing that the warp system is offline. There is no communication with the Synapse system, so Eva is currently at least partially offline, which means your main computer and at least your main computer is offline. So power is limited and life support is also currently offline.
So is that something we can do here on the bridge, or
to restore it or get the information?
Yeah, to restore.
No.
Okay. Well, I think we should try anyway on the bridge. But
you could try rerouting systems, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we've got backup contingencies for this kind of thing. Whether they work or not is a whole nother question.
Do what you can. Ensign? Sylvan Ensign is still lieutenant.
Ensign, I believe.
Ensign.
Oh, no, lieutenant.
She's a lieutenant. Do what you can from here, lieutenant. And Mills will turn to a couple of random ensigns. Jones, go to engineering, get a report. Williams, go to sick bay, see what help they need there. Fredrickson, go to the main computer, or main computer core. See what can be done. The ready room is off of the bridge, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So she will go and ping the ready room.
As the three
the captain and the emissary are in there.
Right. As the 3 lieutenants or ensigns try to leave the bridge, they know that the door does not open. One of them kind of slams into it, and they try to force it for a second, and it is not functioning. When you get to the captain's ready room, the door also does not open.
Thousands of years of technology can't manually open a door.
You can. It's just hard.
Right.
It's got that pump thing.
Yeah, you have to pull one of those pump things out of the wall and put it on and do the pump thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just data it opens, you know.
I think while since the since a helms person is not particularly needed, I think Silva will move over to the security station since Mills is currently occupied. And I'm going to do a quick scan using whatever sensors I can get my hands on to see if I can figure out what happened there.
Okay. All you can tell right now is that sensors, internal and external sensors, are offline. You've got like the super near sensors that are stuff like the readouts that come from the navigational systems, the stuff that hits the deflectors, like you can tell that kind of thing. And all you can really tell right now is that there is some kind of massive energy wave that hit the ship. It appears to start at the front of the ship and moved its way back to the back of the ship, just based on the readings that you've got there. But externally, there's no way to tell at the moment.
Okay, I will do my best to try to find any kind of other external waves that might be incoming.
Okay.
Because I think that's impossible.
Right. Go ahead and give me a science roll to see if you can do, or an engineering roll, or let's do engineering to see if you can reroute some power from some system to the external sensors to get some kind of visible anything going on.
Silva will be narrating, for lack of a better word, what she's doing. She'll say, "It looks like there might have been some kind of wave. I don't know. I'm trying to find out if there's anything more. Hold on. I was so bad at engineering. Let me give it a shot."
We're daring and engineering. How's that sound?
Well, I am good with daring.
Mills will grunt in acknowledgement as she's with the pump thing and gesturing at the other three to do the same at their door. I presume each door has a
Yeah.
emergency handle, because that otherwise it'd be stupid.
Yeah. 2 successes. You managed to find some power. You're not really sure where it's exactly coming from, but there are a couple of systems that are still fully powered. The ship has quite a bit of redundancy, so you shift some power around and you get some short, moderate range sensors. The only thing you're detecting is essentially dead space, but you're picking up in the process of getting your sensors back on. You also got external communications. At least you can't broadcast, but you're at least picking things up. You're getting that there are several other ships within a few light years, a few sectors of where you at, that have also been hit by something similar, and they're transmitting distress signals. So some of them aren't necessarily in as bad a shape as you guys are.
I'm picking up distress signals from other ships. I don't think this was a localized event. I think he had managed to hit multiple vessels at once.
Across multiple sectors. It's a big...
Across multiple sectors. Yeah. This thing must be huge.
Huge or highly coordinated.
You managed to get the door to the captain's ready room open, and there's a fire in the room. It is very hot. There's a lot of smoke comes pouring out. Ambrose and Juan are both on the ground. Ambrose appears to have tackled Juan. They both appear to be somewhat injured. There's a beam and some shrapnel that has come from one of the console wall, that display wall behind the captain's desk appears to have exploded outwards, and they have taken some fairly substantial injuries. Ambrose is at least conscious, although not necessarily fully alert at the moment as you enter the room. He's kind of beginning to shake off the effects of whatever hit him. Juan is not currently conscious.
We have some sort of emergency medical kit, I presume.
Surely.
She will pull that out of whatever wall cubby there is and Um,
Brian was just role playing there, choking on his.
I see that. I apparently opened and then promptly closed Roll20. That really. Oh, never mind. I know where it is.
He just minimized it.
No, I forgot that it hates the TV monitor.
Oh, right.
So I had to put it in this monitor. It was hiding behind my Zoom. So Mills will. The captain is getting himself up at about.
Yeah, he's moving. He's definitely got that dazed look in his face, like that post-dictal look, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had to like push this all kinds of debris off of myself, and
I am going to
Whoever.
use the threat that I have,
go on.
Joanne.
Yeah.
I'm going to use 3 of the threat that I have. 1, 2, 3. To add a complication to the captain alone. Your cybernetics are functioning improperly. You do not have full use of the cybernetics on the torso cybernetics. The ones in your head and all that are working fine, but there's a little bit of failure there. A medicine roll can fix that. So, or engineering roll.
Sounds like a disadvantage of 3 if we're talking mechanical.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ambrose is actually pretty well dazed. I mean, you can see he's standing up. I'm looking around, but I'm breathing really heavily and definitely favoring one side, and my left arm is just kind of twitching unnaturally.
A quick cursory look shows that there's a piece of shrapnel that has gone through his shoulder area, and has gone entirely through his shoulder. If it weren't for cybernetics, he'd probably be dead.
She'll poke her head out of the door. Have they gotten the door to the bridge open yet?
Yeah, the door to the turbo lift shaft is open.
Okay.
The one yells back, the turbo lift is at the bottom of the shaft. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to climb down these decks.
All right. Go as quickly as possible. Bring me somebody from medical. This is above my knowledge.
Go ahead and give me a Medicans check.
I am the wrong person for that.
Right.
We're all the wrong person for everything. I think that's the point.
Yep. So this will be just to check out both Ambrose and Juan. Difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. I mean, you did say that the cybernetics could be engineering, right? Because I got some of that.
Yeah, this is just a diagnostic though, so it'll be a medical roll first, because you can't use engineering on Juan, obviously.
Right. You want insight, reason?
Yeah, insight or reason, either one works. I don't care.
If you come over to Ambrose with a med kit, he's going to. Juan, make sure she's all right.
With respect, sir, the ship needs her captain more than she needs her emissary.
Your medicine's only 1.
I don't think you have anything on you that's gonna fix my left lung.
Probably not wrong, sir.
All right, so yeah. Oh wow, that is probably your worst possible thing you could be doing, isn't it?
Let's
yes.
Feel free to spend momentum.
Yeah, you got 3 momentum, and you've got a giant momentum up there.
True.
Yeah, I don't know what that's for, but
so I'd like to just kind of grab a hypo spray and leave.
And leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to get to your feet and move out.
Yeah. I'm
right.
standing. I'm going to my post.
Okay. Grabbing like a pain med.
Yeah. I'm just hypo spray of morphine. There we go. I only need 1 lung anyway.
Right. Morphine's not a respiratory suppressant or anything.
Sure.
Not at all.
Not at all.
We have 2 lungs for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I will
Look,
use.
Ambrose has 7 reason in 1 medicine.
Oh, good.
All he knows is that it hurts, and he needs to be somewhere.
Yeah, the only person worse at medicine than Mills right now is the captain.
Fantastic.
All right, so give me the roll for Juwan. It's still going to be difficulty 3 just because of the alien physiology.
All right, I'm going to take both, all 3 of those momentum.
All right.
This thing
2 successes.
go. Ooh,
That's a failure.
That is a failure.
I mean, all things considered, not terrible.
Right.
Yeah, at least you didn't get a complication. You could have made it
Right?
even worse.
Right. All you can tell is that there is a lot of blood, and she appears to be unconscious at the moment. So things are not great. The 3 guys head down the turbo lift shaft as they see the captain coming on the bridge. One of them shoots another one a look, and then begins their way down. Anything you want to say before we go to credits there, Ambrose? Or anybody?
I just want to add that Silva, when you get to the bridge, Silva is darting between stations trying to get some kind of response from anything.
Yeah.
A
lot of the screens are actually dark. All the science stations are actually offline, and a lot of the stations are dark. So.
Yeah, but she's trying her best in any case.
All right. Let's go ahead and do opening credits. So that would be fine. I mean, we could call it whatever. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
But yeah, the captain is currently at that state of disadvantage and complication / condition. So since he's the one who rolls the majority of the threat anyways, I figured it'd go good to him. So
Totally fair.
I'll take it.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. That's disadvantage 3 on all rolls, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Nasty.
And then, like I said, medical and engineering roles can help. You can help to correct the damage, but it's going to be, not an easy thing to do.
Well,
Right.
So let's go to, let's see. I think we should go to Tong, Yezabeth, and O'Connor first, before we get to Koba and Nyala. Actually, you know what? No, let's do Koba and Nyala because that's the engineering section, and it's probably more important. So, in engineering, there is also a great deal of damage. There are systems that are offline. The pool table isn't lighting up. The warp core is offline. There are a couple of people who have fallen to their either death or harm. There are a few people who are clearly injured. There's people who are tending to each other. You and Nyala have both been knocked to the ground, but other than some minor cuts and bruises, you both seem like you both seem like you're fine for the most part. And she looks at you and says, "What happened?"
I'll be farked if I know. The warp core is offline. I need to check the containment, or else it may not matter what happened.
The two of you dart towards one of the stations and start trying to get it online. You've got some basic functionality, some on the warp containment system, because that's one of the systems that obviously has extra redundancies.
Sure.
So you do see that the warp containment is currently intact, but is only at about 50%.
Okay. So I would definitely check for any cascading system failures. So like system failures that will make more systems fail.
Sure.
and create a cascading issue.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an engineering check. Niala can help you. And I'm not sure how to roll that, but I'll figure it out.
I mean, she can assist.
She can assist you. Yep.
If you don't have stats for her, just make up a TN. That's what I do.
Yeah, I rolled a 2, so
Yeah, there you
it doesn't matter what it is. It probably succeeds. So yeah, go ahead and do that roll. Difficulty is going to be 2. She's an assistant to you. So
I take it my emergency repairs focus applies to this.
yeah, I'll take it. So 2, and then if she rolled 2, that'd be 4. So you have 4 successes. Difficulty was 2, so you have 2 momentum. You are seeing several systems that are teetering on the edge of potential cascade failure, but currently everything appears to be mostly stable. You'll find that comms are down. Comms receiving is down. Sickbay is still up and functional because they have their own independent systems. The main computer is offline, or at least it's got power, but it's not running. It's not connected to the main systems, which is a fail-safe to prevent a cascade failure of the main computer.
Okay. And what about Eva?
Eva is in the main computer, so she is probably still up and running, but she can't access the rest of the ship at the moment.
Got it.
Right.
He's going to say, what's the point of a shipwide AI that gets stuck in her room?
Right. You will see that the secondary computer core is online, but it is at risk of cascade failure due to power shortages in the systems. Everything is on. Everything that has a tertiary system is still running on tertiary systems. Most redundancies for other things have failed, but it looks like they failed due to disruption in the EPS system. So,
okay, does it look related to the changes we've made?
No.
Okay. Okay. So first priority is I want to get the ships.
Mostly because the changes hadn't started yet. So
sure, makes sense. So first priority is I want to get the ships systems back up and running. So like specifically like mechanically, what I want to do is make sure that the ship can still assist with tasks,
right,
as necessary, because right now they're not. So I want to get the basic ship systems going, not necessarily movement, but to aid with the damage control parties that are no doubt
right
going about their business.
Get at least the computer system, the computer core system on, back into service.
Yeah, also like the atmospheric seals, that kind of thing.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll for that, or?
Yeah, you can give me a roll for the at least the start of that. You're gonna have to send some engineering crews out to get some of that stuff done, but yeah, you can give me the roll to get to know where the system, to get the management of that done. So sending people here and there and getting a basic system analysis and some basic stuff up and running from where you're at.
Okay, so do I get my advantage of being chief engineer?
Yes.
Okay. So that decreases the difficulty by 1. So what is the difficulty?
Difficulty would be 1 then.
Okay. I take it my emergency repairs applies as well?
Yes.
Okay.
And then once that's set up, we'll get into full repair of the ship is going to be an extended task. So.
Okay, that's 4 successes. Yeah, as I said, mainly I'm focusing on making sure that the ship can help repair itself.
Right.
To aid people.
She can assist like that. Whoops. Oh, well, all right. She does of no help to you.
Well, that's a complication. What
kind
of complication does she cause? Maybe she hits the wrong button.
Console rocks.
No, I'm just gonna because I don't know. Let me think of one.
Anyway, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead.
1 ship discipline and just take it offline. Cannot be repaired for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I can do that. Let's say, where's the ship here? Give me the ship. starships. Europa. Let's say
You rolled d6 if you want.
I'm just gonna say I rolled d6. I like that better. That
Okay.
makes it more random. I was gonna say
Sure.
weapons, but you don't need weapons, so I don't know. That would not be.
Let's leave it to chance.
Leave it a chance. 1d6. 2. So con.
Hey.
Right.
He'll quickly push her away after he goes, no wait, and then Nacelle's completely redlined, and he goes, damn it. That's it for the impulse engines. They're going to need a full restart now. No getting them online until everything else is back up.
Oh, these systems are all wired in. It's not logical. She slams her hands on the thing and turns away.
He grouses for a moment, and then he says, look, you were trying to help. But before you press any more buttons, run it by me.
Tell me where I can help.
All right. We need to make sure that the bottle is only at 15%. If that thing goes, the whole ship's going up. We need to make sure that has all the power it needs and then some.
All right. All right. And she goes over and starts messing with not messing with, but tinkering with the containment stuff. So
He'll go over with her, and as part of making sure that she's doing everything right, he will get shoulder to shoulder with her as they lean over the console.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Your systems are familiarly unfamiliar. I understand how your systems work, but Starfleet builds so many. I don't know. Your redundancies are excellent, but everything comes cross-wired, and it's so easy to. Everything is so sensitive.
Engineering is more of an art than a science. Trust me, if you spent a little bit of time, you'd get used to it.
Yes. Your sick bay has a great deal of power left. It appears that it is running on an independent system. Perhaps we could find a manual bridging and siphon power from there to this containment system.
Huh? You kidding? The last thing we want to do is take power away from the sick bay. Somebody could be getting their leg saved right now. I'm not dooming anybody because we want to make sure the doors open easily.
No, simply for the containment systems. I mean, if the containment system fails, then it doesn't really much matter if anyone's getting their legs sawn off or not. We could keep it as a redundancy at least.
The weak doors knows, and they'll say, all right, but let's make sure it stays under. Let's make sure the siphoning stays under 70%.
Can do. She points to somebody, and a couple of guys go. They nod and they're heading off because that was going to require a manual connection to what to do.
And I think the next thing he'll try to do is contact the sick bay to let him know what the plan is.
The internal comms are down, but one of the guys can go and tell them what's going on.
Yeah, he'll try anyway, but
yeah. At the moment, internal comms are down. That would be at least one of the lower one of the lower high priorities.
Sure. He'll also say, "I wish we could get Eva right now. Where's the ghost in the machine when you need one?"
Right. Speaking of which, that'll take us over to Yezabeth, Tong, and O'Connor. The room you were.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
How is the SSH?
Not presently on.
Locked in his own room.
Okay.
The holographic transmitters are currently offline.
Gotcha.
Except the one. Actually, I do have a thing for him. I'll bring it to you when we get to that scene. But I do have him. I did want him to appear in a scene. So, in library access. You've got Yezabeth, Tong, O'Connor, Alira, and John. This is one of the more protected centers of the ship. It is pretty deep inside the hull. It is next to the main computer core, so it is protected by a lot of redundancies there as well. The lights are damaged, or not damaged, but the lights are red. There's sparks that have been flying, had flown everywhere. No fires at the moment, but there's a lot of smoke coming from the hallway area. And you can see that there is a big flashing thing on one of the core monitors that is showing that the central core has taken itself offline to prevent further damage.
What was that? Is everyone all right? Is everyone still?
Alira is looking over, is looking to John, who has a big bump on his head, and she's got a little bit of cuts and stuff too. But they look fine. So
Elizabeth pushes herself up, and she says, "For a second there, I thought I was in the warp core again. Brought back unpleasant memories. What happened?"
I don't know. We should find out. Eva.
The screen where it says the computer core is offline shifts, and it goes to text for Eva. The text across the screen reports that her vocalization's temporarily offline. She's working on a workaround, but the main computer core is offline, and she is not able to access ship systems.
Oh no, that's bad.
That's not good.
So many of the ship system relies on Eva. Even if it's just here that even if it's just here that got damaged, the rest of the ship is listless. We've got to get this back up and running, Tom.
Yes. Okay. We have to figure out where things went wrong. Fortunately, we're in a pretty good spot for that, I guess. I mean, second to engineering, I suppose. Okay.
Well, judging from these statistics, judging from this data, she can't even get to the bridge right now. We can't even get her to engineering right now. We need to make sure that she can get anywhere she needs to be.
Right. Well, some of that's going to be localized hardware problems, I'm sure, but we could make sure the power's flowing in all the places that it needs to be, and make sure all the bioneural gel packs, at least in the central positronic matrix here, are working properly. Okay, here, help me with this panel.
She'll help him and get to work.
What are you doing? Are you doing anything, O'Connor?
They seem to have that well in hand. She is kind of shite in an emergency, in a crisis. She will go and occupy John and try and keep him calm and out of the way, while keeping herself out of the way.
When you
say,
go ahead.
You say she's shite in a crisis. Is it just because of her skills, or does she have like personal...
Oh, she's got severe anxiety.
Oh, then you should play that up. Let's see that.
As you head over to comfort John, Alira looks at you, and there's a look of concern in her face, but it's, she's clearly like resolving some of her momentary anxiety over, is John okay? Am I alive? Is everyone still here standing, and kind of thing. She looks at you, O'Connor, and says, "Do we know what happened?"
Not yet, but they'll figure it out. They're really good. Tong and Eva are practically one mind.
Is there anything that I can do? Tong, is there anything that I can do? Anything, anywhere you need me?
Well, communications are down. We need some way to communicate with other repair teams.
All right, I will.
I think right now, unless your specialty is in positronic systems, I think we can handle this here. I think we mostly need a line of communication.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, the comm system is on deck. The main comm relay is on deck 7. She looks at John and has a look of reservation, and then looks at O'Connor.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. You stay here, John. I'll be back. And then she goes to open the door, which it doesn't open, and then she promptly forces the door and heads out. Go ahead.
Okay, Eva, tell me where it hurts.
You begin getting a detailed readout of the systems where she cannot, where her routing cannot access, and what to do to fix. Sent a photo.
Elizabeth will begin those fixes, leaving the room if she needs to.
Right. Which leads us over to sickbay. Delphine and Onate are in sickbay. You're managed to get back to your feet when the holographic doctor appears. Please state the nature of the medical emergency, and is immediately cut off by the SSH, who appears on the same hollow emitters as the doctor, because they're the only ones that are still working on the ship.
The ship appears to be in crisis. Status report. This is the only holographic terminal I can access.
You've come to the wrong place for a status report.
The doctor looks over the SSH. Is like, excuse me? These are my emitters.
Delphine will say, I suppose more hands the better. Well, even if they're holographic. Do you have any kind of medical programming at all?
I assume we're talking to the SSH, not the MMH, because
Right.
Obviously the MMH does. The security or the medical hologram looks at you and scoffs and goes to do something. Like he's
Talking to the SSH.
Yeah, I know. But wounded begin coming in. The doors are forced open, and wounded begin coming in.
No, sharing that programming would be redundant.
She says, well, then I guess you're redundant. And
What do you propose to do from here?
I can't access anywhere on the ship, which means I can't go anywhere or do anything.
well, right now you seem to only be getting in the way. So either pick up a medical spanner and help us how you can, or turn yourself off. What use are you right now?
Well, in the confines of this med bay, not much, I'll admit.
Well,
infrastructure
welcome to the
problems that
medical
I
team.
brought up. Why does nobody listen to me?
Wait, I have an
Turn
idea.
off.
No, I have an idea before you turn off. We keep it as there's a cache of emergency supply units on deck 2. I can go get them, and then you can start giving them to the to med teams and sending people out to get the wounded and bring them back here. Can you do you think that's logistics enough that you can oversee it?
More quartermaster duties. I
Well,
suppose that is my primary function. I will be here handing out band-aids.
Huzzah. And she'll quickly leave to go get those medical supplies.
You'll note that sickbay did have full power, and everything there appears to be at least accessing its redundancy systems. So it is a fully functional, or at least mostly fully functional, sickbay.
We are taking power from it now.
Yeah, it will be shortly, anyways.
Oh.
That I was going to have that crew arrive and start work to take power away from sickbay, because I think that'd be a fun moment for the sickbay crew to argue about. So,
And she'll be back before not too long.
right, we'll come back to that one. So, back on the bridge. A little time has passed. Jawan is the fires are out on the bridge. The crew has managed to suppress whatever fires were both on the bridge and in the captain's ready room. The main doors are now open to the captain's ready room and the 2 turbo lifts that are going down. And crews are beginning to try to make their way up and down. But obviously it's, the top of the ship and slow going. Not the top of the ship, but pretty much the top of the ship. Secondary computers are still online, and Silva had managed to get basic sensors online with the receiving of distress calls coming in. Comms going out are still not online. Ambrose is injured. Not really any new developments yet. But what did you guys? Do you have anything else you want to do on the bridge at the moment? Now that we've gone through everybody else's stuff,
Lieutenant, what hit the ship?
We're not sure yet, sir.
We need to find out.
We're working on it.
Have you dispatched security and
Yes,
engineering teams? Good. We should obviously prioritize engineering and life support, but we need internal communications if we're to coordinate our response. We may also want to send out some shuttles, the peregrines, just to get a better look at what's around, as long as we're not under attack or in some other reoccurring phenomenon.
Assuming there's a second wave. It would seem from what the lieutenant could ascertain, several ships in multiple sectors were hit. This is either a very large attack or a very well coordinated one. And she will, at Peregrine, she'll nod to some other lackey and tell them, go get
Starfleet officer.
Whatever.
It could be both.
Right.
That's Lieutenant Junior grade lackey, ma'am.
Right. It's lackey. It's lackey.
Right, exactly. Ensign Lackey.
Ensign lackey.
To go get
Yes, ma'am.
Shajin
Okay, right
and
away.
tell her to take her people out.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm on it.
Okay.
How common knowledge is the Captain Cybernetics?
I don't know. I don't know if the captain's ever talked about it.
I mean, they're like sin skin, and it's not. He doesn't have a metal arm or anything. It's not overtly noticeable that he has cybernetics. They're in his official
medical stuff,
dossier. Yeah.
The question I think is would Mills know?
Would Mills know?
Is the dossier public knowledge? Because if it is, with the hero worship, she definitely would have.
Yeah, I would say if anybody would know, Mills would know. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's probably heavily like redacted, but I'm sure you would know.
Okay. So with that knowledge, as she's taking orders from the Gaspin captain and relaying them out, she's also fussing over him with her engineering, which is much better than her science or her medicine.
Right.
Right page.
So she's poking and prodding at your at your wound hole.
Left
Does
lung.
it hurt when I stick my finger here?
Yeah. Hey, if I put a 9-volt battery here, what happens? All right, go ahead and give me if Ambrose is not protesting the assistance. Either daring or control and engineering. Obviously, if you're too daring, the possibility for complication is more dramatic than control.
Yeah. We'll go control because med should be coming soon anyhow, so it's not a like super high stakes.
Right.
All right. Well, that was fucking useless.
Awesome.
So you, at least it wasn't a complication.
Right.
As you're prodding around there, you can see that it appears that the actual power system that makes his keeps the lung and the aortic grafting function are not functioning. So he will, within a matter of maybe an hour or two, end up becoming hypoxic and possibly die if he doesn't get some kind of help.
Sir, your internal power systems are failing. You probably should limit your expenditure.
I'm not doing anything terribly taxing right now, Lieutenant.
Except talking and breathing.
Breathing. Go ahead and stop doing that.
The Gemador tried to convince me to stop breathing once. I didn't take to it too well. It's either I sit here and do my damn job or I try to climb one-handed down the turbo shaft
So
with one lung.
Do your damn job it is then, sir.
someone will chime in, revealing that she's been listening to this entire thing. And she'll say, there's another alternative. We can put you in a medical coma. It might not be, it might cause less, it might cause less strain on your systems. Help you in the long run.
I worry about the strain on your system if you try.
The ship's in worse condition than I am. Until that changes, I'll be here. Do we have localized sensors in the hull? Can we analyze what did this?
It's bad news and bad news. There was some kind of wave moved from stem to stern. Don't know what caused it, but it wasn't here on the ship. More bad news. It looks like our helm is completely offline. We're not able to maneuver at all. We could be moving towards the local star as we speak.
Have the flight team take a look at what's outside. Is there a way we could calibrate the shields to lessen the effect of any more of whatever happened?
Silva will give a big old, I don't know. Look, I'm not an operations officer. I don't know. I think the best thing at this point, I think we just have to hope that somebody else in the ship who does know what they're doing can get it back, can get us enough control.
Well, we can rely on the crew, but there has to be something we can do here.
So I will rack her brain, and she'll say, "We might be able to get remote control over the teleporters. It it might be able to allow us to at least move the injured to the bridge, and or the injured to sick bay, and she'll glance at Mills. She'll glance between Mills and Ambrose.
If it's possible, that's a high power system. Emergency beaming would be useful, though.
Yeah, let me see what I can do. I'm not great with the spanner, but I'll give it a shot. Can I roll?
I can see what I can do to help.
Give me a reason and science roll, Silva. I would also take engineering, reason and engineering, if that works better for you.
Is this just to know if we can?
This is to no, because theoretically it'd be possible, but if you didn't have an idea, and if you get a success on the roll, I was going to have you do something else. Like, it's similar, but not exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Also, it helps generate momentum. So,
all right.
Difficulty will be 2.
Mills will assist with reason engineering. Mills will assist with fuck all. Mills set dressing today.
Who's doing the main role? So
You are.
You are.
That's bad. Something died.
What is this roll for?
I don't know.
Oh,
what is this
Trying
roll for?
to get local transport.
Yeah, you're trying to find a way to do the transportation to get the transporters to work remotely from where you're at.
Okay. Well, give it a shot. Do not think any of my focuses apply. It's science and reason.
1 success.
That's a 1.
All right.
We're in a fight with the power systems. Does this count as in combat?
It does not. You'll note fairly quickly that there's no way you're going to get the transporters to work, but you might be able to get to the shuttle bay and use the emergency transporters on one of the shuttlecraft.
Okay, I actually do have.
What's that?
I actually do have a focus that would apply to this.
Okay.
I have spelunking. Can I rappel down the turbo?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Do it.
All right. So getting that idea, Silva will say, okay, look, we're not going to be able to get transporters on here.
I shouldn't say the shuttle. Not the shuttle, but the yacht. The yacht can certainly do it. Yeah.
Well, look, we're not going to be able to get the emergency transporters on here, but if I can get down to the yacht, actually, I think it's a wavebird. But anyway, if I can get down to the yacht, I can activate I can use those shields manually, or those transporters manually, to get people where they need to be. Look, okay. Do either of you know an old Earth code, Braille?
No one knows Braille.
I would not imagine so.
That's probably not Braille, but they probably would know Morse code.
Like Morse code, yeah. Ambrose would know Morse code, but not Braille.
Yeah.
That's my bad. And she'll say, back when I was in the Maquis, we used to use covert signals using we used to send covert signals using the ship's the lights used to light up the name of the ship on the front of the saucer. If you can get control of those systems, they shouldn't, it's a non-essential system, but it might still be online. Might be worth checking into. If you can send me messages through that, I might be able to, you can communicate with me, and hopefully we can, actually, does anybody have any better ideas? This sounds ridiculous the more I go into it.
Using Morse code sounds plausible. Using the ship's front lights, probably not, but
probably
you could
not.
certainly set up a system for doing Morse code, like just getting a tricorder just could flash or anything like that. So
Okay, so she'll say, she'll say, look, this turbo lift shaft goes all the way down. I can look up and get signals that way. Just look, stay up here, look for a flash, and I'll let you know when I'm in place. And you let me know who needs transporting. And
I would
Oh,
suggest the
Make it happen.
captain take priority because he's not going to be a captain in about an hour if he doesn't, but that is your decision, sir.
with that, she will wrap herself in rope and tie it to one of the consoles. And suddenly she'll say, just like Mon Capitan. And then, or not Mon Capitan, just she'll say just like the Curzon Gulch. And she'll jump down the shaft, rappelling down.
You don't have to roll unless you want to roll for the rappelling. I think you can. You've got skill in it.
I do want to roll. Can I roll
Yeah.
security on this?
Yeah, that'd be probably what would work. It would be probably what, fitness and security.
In security?
Difficulty 2.
That's
Nice.
4 successes.
There you go. So we'll get you 2 momentum. Unless you want to do something with flair.
No, I think I did flare already, as much flare as I need to right now. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and take 5 because I have to go do a thing. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll grab some coffee.
All right.
I think Ev's still gone.
Yeah, I don't think Evelyn's. Oh, she's back. She's got a mouthful of food, but she's back. The timer ran out. You got to watch the timer. The timer ran out. You're out of luck. We're back. You're back.
I was watching the timer.
Every other week we're doing meal prep. So I have a crock pot full of chicken and ranch. Like it's a ranch chicken recipe with quinoa. Super good, but I forgot that I had left it on cooking high and I could smell it. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to go turn that off.
Yep.
Tastes good though. With that, we are back. Let's go back to sickbay because that is the next most important location for things to happen, and we need to let them know what's going on. Plus let's get there. While the emergency medical hologram doctor is treating patients and doing his thing, Define gets back with her stuff from deck 2, which took a little longer than she expected because, it's no turbo lifts are working. You got a good look at the ship though, and there's a lot of damage to the computer systems and like the screens and stuff like that around the ship. A lot of people who are walking wounded, who are, going about their business, trying to get the ship going again. You stopped and helped a couple people who had like dislocated bones and whatnot. But in the end, you get back here and you manage to give the SSH the supplies. About the time that you do so, a couple of guys from engineering come in. What's your character's rank? You're lieutenant, right? Lieutenant Define. Lieutenant Kostra has sent us up here to. We needed to set up a power siphon from main sickbay to main engineering, since you have the only reliable power source currently active. He's looking around. He doesn't see Dasavi because Dasavi is probably in the midst of something at the moment.
I was going to say, Dasavi just kind of clears her throat from the other side of the room.
Right. I suspect that your hands are full at the moment, so just talk to the nurse first.
She'll say, "Did our chief engineer hit his head in the accident? Doesn't he know we're treating wounded here?"
There's apparently some kind of containment issue. We need the power to maintain containment stability on the warp core. Well, on the antimatter.
All right. Well, go let the commander know. If anybody can override this madness, it'd be her. And she'll gesture over to where Oniana is.
Yeah. Okay. And they head off that way. and are promptly replaced by a person from the bridge who comes down. Who's here that can get to the bridge? I need someone on the bridge. The captain and Dr. Jawan are badly injured.
She'll say, on a scale, how badly injured are we talking?
Dr. Jawan is, last I knew, she wasn't conscious, but I don't think we had any more information than that. And the captain, he looked like he was not good. Like he wasn't bleeding, but there was a big hole in his uniform, and he was breathing pretty hard.
She'll say, if he's up and moving, it shouldn't be fatal, but all right, I'll go. I suppose I'll go. Hologram, SSH.
You need a Band-Aid.
No, but I'll need quite a bit more than you from that. I have to go attend to the captain. I need you to fill in for me. I want you to assist Dr. DeSavi in whatever she needs. When she asks for an instrument, you provide it. Does that sound like it's within the scope of your programming?
No, but it does sound like it's in the scope of the EMH's programming.
Well, then
I will leave the doctor in the good hands of the other doctor.
The EMH looks over and says, my hands are quite full. You're here. You might as well put yourself to use. As he is patching somebody up.
Delphine will gesture and she'll say,
I'm a doctor, not a nurse. Thank you.
Delphine will say, will gesture to the SSH and say, I offer you this opportunity to expand your horizons. I must get to the bridge. And then she'll grab one of the kits and leave.
Very good.
Come now, Mark.
Engineer.
1. You're a Mark 1 plus. You can at least do what she does. Come now.
Well, yes, I'm sure I could replace a lowly nurse easily enough. However, this is not the most efficient place for me to be at the moment. Engineer. I believe when we were last at my space station, we picked up one of my mobile units. Take me to that and upload me.
The engineer's like, looks around. Okay. Okay. And then grabs leaves to go grab one of the transmitters until he can upload you there.
I mean, doesn't he have siphoning to set up? Does the SSH have the authority to override?
This was the one from the bridge, so.
Oh, fair enough. Wait, why did we send our engineer down?
Yeah, I don't know where the engineer went to med bay, but you know.
It's an ops person. You don't have an ops station anymore anyway because it got smashed by.
Yeah.
Right.
All kinds of rocks now.
All right. There's lots of rocks all over the bridge. What you need is a gardener.
Oh, Jesus.
So Delphine, not Delphine, DeSavi. As you're coming out of one of the surgical centers where you were resetting somebody's, I don't know, xiphoid process or something. For those who don't know, that's a pretty minor part.
That often breaks off.
It does often break off. You head out. You come into the main room and you see you see Delphine grabbing some supplies and heading out, which is not unusual in this kind of situation.
Right.
The SSH is talking to somebody, and the EMH is, you get the basic from a distance what's going on. At which point the ops officer from the bridge takes off down the hallway in another direction. The EMH comes over and looks at you and says, there are a lot of wounded here, Doctor. I've begun triage. The walking wounded are there. Level 2s here. Level 1s are in process of being prepped. However, I have been informed that the Dr. Jawan and the captain are also in some situation, and I have taken it upon myself to send the chief, the charge nurse, to the bridge to assist.
Very well. Well, let's get working on the ones we've got here then.
In the meantime, you have this fine, shiny-haired nurse over here to help us until he finds his mobile transmitter. As he smiles at the SSH.
That later.
Back to engineering. While you're working, getting routings and whatnot, getting power stabilized, the Nala is tinkering with something while you're off a little ways down, working on a more essential system. Not more essential than what she's doing, but you've got her doing busy work at the moment, and you're off doing what you're doing. That's Lieutenant Commander, right? Lieutenant Commander Kostra, yeah. Lieutenant Commander, it appears that the junction between sickbay and engineering has been completed, or at least it's now functional. I managed to stabilize the warp containment. We're at 92% for the moment, and it appears to be stable for now. So long as the main computer core stays online, or as long as the secondary computer core stays online, we should be all set.
Good. That's good. Now it's time we got the rest of the ship operational. I'm sure at the bridge they're belly aching about not getting access to sensors. Let's get those up and running.
Of course. I believe that's this panel here. She opens it up, and
you seem to know a lot about about our systems. Did you get a full briefing from Starfleet?
We did. Elira and I were the primary technicians for the work that we were to be doing. We took it upon ourselves. I took it upon myself. Elira is much more natural to some of these things, but I took it upon myself to inspect the engineering of your ship as much as was available to us from Starfleet. It's a remarkable piece of machinery.
Well, I didn't need you to tell me that, but I gotta admit, I'm impressed. Not everybody's able to memorize a blueprint on a ship that they're going to just be spending a couple weeks on.
We are. I have some talent in this field. I can see you've taken good care of your ship, though. And she's monkeying around in the thing. Could you give me a hand, though? There's a discrepancy in the phase conversion that I'm not familiar with.
Oh yeah, I've seen one of these before. It's not something you need to worry about. But here, we can get it fixed quick enough.
Give me an engineering roll to fix the internal sensors.
All right. Gotcha. So this is the internal sensors, not the external?
One leads to the other. So
gotcha.
I'm going to spend my 3 remaining threat to add a complication range, though, because I kind of want something to happen here.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and use some momentum, so make it more likely for that to happen.
How many? Just one?
Just one, yeah. Does my emergency repairs focus play?
Yep. Oh, I was hoping for a complication. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Difficulty was 2. So internal sensors come back online, and you get back to momentum.
Okay.
As she's working around in there, she takes a half a step back as you tweak something in there, and the sensors come back online, and she's like, I am very impressed, Lieutenant Commander. That is, you definitely know your way around these panels. I wouldn't expect a chief engineer to be quite so familiar, having been able to pass on much of the work to his subordinates.
You're kidding, I'd live for this stuff. The hell, Starfleet had to talk me into this job in the first place. And now they're trying to talk me into becoming an executive officer, and that's just not going to happen. Well, anyway, I gotta admit the respect is mutual. You know what you're doing. You know what you're about. You know, when all this is over, you and I should grab a drink.
I will look forward to it.
Perfect.
She turns and begins poking at her tablet again and moves on to the. I think next, since we've got internal sensors on, let's go ahead and start working on external sensors. And you can't see her face, but you know, she turns and
it'll take a moment. Just
her head tentacles turn slightly redder.
It'll take a moment. Just look at her a second longer, and then get back to work.
All right. With that, on the bridge, internal sensors come back online. Mills and Ambrose are on the bridge when you see on the security council and the captain's right arm panel, internal sensors reports begin coming in.
Things are starting to work. Yeah, what do we see? What is the state of the ship? Do we have any hull breaches?
No hull breaches. There are some weakened areas. The deflector shield is functional but damaged. Again, power systems are pretty much offline. Pretty much what you already knew. It's confirmed. You are getting a number of life signs that are diminished. And doing a quick survey of the active life signs aboard ship, you're guessing you're probably down 5 or 6 total crew, and you note that the shuttle bay at the moment is the main shields in the shuttle bay that keep the atmosphere in are offline, so. Which isn't really a big deal, but it just means
it means we can't send out any ships without.
Well, it means no one can be in the shuttle bay when you do so. You'll decompress shuttle bay, yeah. You're definitely going to decompress shuttle bay, which isn't, the end of the world.
Well, when we don't have life support, that's a lot of
right.
It's a lot of.
You also don't have engines, which means you can't correct for any kind of propellant going out of the ship. So.
Mm-hmm. Did we get communications back with internal sensors, or is that something?
Not yet, but you're about to.
Okay.
So. Okay. That gives you the quick rundown of your internal sensors. Click that. At which point, a few seconds later, this is Ilaria to bridge. Can you hear me?
You're coming in. Yes.
Excellent. It appears internal communications are back online. I believe you may also have the access to the external communicator as well, the external comm system as well.
Good work. Where are you? Who are you with?
I am presently by myself in on deck 7.
Okay. Good thinking. Much appreciated.
Well, it was your Ensign Tong. They're in library access control trying to get the main computer back online.
Good. Try and contact the Arrow Wing. I have Lieutenant Silva in there. Coordinate with her to work external transporters, see if we can get the injured beamed directly to sickbay. I have your Dr. Joanne up here who needs attention.
There's a long silence. I understand. I will do what I can, Captain.
Sending you casualty reports. I'll click on my armchair and Send like priority of, highlight all the diminishing life signs that we've shown up.
Right. Illyra to Lieutenant Silva.
I'm not able to pick her up in the
when you get so you make your way down to the Arrow Wing. The door, the airlock door between the Arrow Wing and the ship is currently closed, but you manage to force it open. At which point the Arrow Wing door is open just fine.
I'm good at breaking into things.
Right. The Arrow Wing has doesn't power on until you actually enter the thing. And it appears that since the Arrow Wing was powered down, most everything on the Arrow Wing is actually functional. There is some damage, like the docking clamp is frozen, so you're not able to disembark the Arrow Wing, but you can access almost everything else. The awkward thing is that when you go into the Arrow Wing, the gravity shifts because the Arrow Wing actually parks upside down in comparison to the rest of the ship. So you step in, it kind of flips you over, and you get that little queasy feeling for a second. You're obviously now standing upside down in comparison to the bridge. So
yeah, she'll float down, put her hand on the floor of the shuttle, turn herself around, pull herself to the console, strap herself in, maybe using some of the rope that she got, and just tie herself down and just start up the consoles. Right. Try to get those transporters online.
Right. You power everything on. Everything comes on pretty quickly. It's going through its normal startup routines. It'll be 15 to 20 minutes before the warp engines are online, that kind of stuff. No, it's like about 3 hours for the warp engine. No, it's about 3 hours for the warp engines to come online, but 15, 20 minutes for everything else to come on fully. Transporters, though, you can prioritize the startup routine. You can get that. Gravity comes back online, life support's online, all that stuff. So you definitely do have the transporters. The capacity of the transporter is only like 4 every 15 or 20 seconds, but it's still functional.
Yeah, that's better than nothing.
Right.
So I will. I'll see if I can get communications up and running. Maybe that's when I get that message there.
Yep.
Okay. This is Silva. How can I help you?
The captain has sent me a list of priorities. Well, first, I've gotten internal communications back online. Secondly, the captain has sent me a list of high priority persons to begin transporting to sickbay. I'm sending it your way now.
Thank God. I was hoping I'm so glad we didn't have to do this with a flashlight. All right. And she'll quickly start keying in, use the ship's sensors and calming off their communications to try and.
So the first question I have is, what priority is the captain and the doctor? Where has the captain put himself on that list?
I mean, Ambrose doesn't have any sort of medical training, so he's pretty much relying on whatever the status reports are.
Right.
I don't know how detailed they would be.
Well, as far as the internal sensors go, they're not that detailed. They just diminishing life signs here, diminishing life signs there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mills did tell him that it heavily implied he was going to be dead in an hour.
Yeah.
You got 48 minutes to go. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, I got plenty of time. No, the Dr. Joanne is definitely higher on the priority list than he is. If there's no real way for him to get any understanding of the severity of medical problems, he'd probably. And if there's no way to get any understanding of severity, he'd probably be pretty low on the list.
Okay. So the top of the list there is Dr. Joanne and a few other people from around the ship. The captain is on. You do see the captain's name on the list, but it's somewhere near the bottom of the list.
We don't have we're not a family ship, are we?
No.
There are very, very few families, but for the most part, no. It is an option the ship can have, but it's only for like senior and department officers. So, which none of you guys have families on board ship. Because Hage's family left before he was even injured, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were never on the ship long term. I was under the
Yeah.
impression that as part of the scaling back, the families were not on this ship.
Right. It's not a high priority for the Federation, but it is a perk of being a higher ranking officer. But there's really
Sure.
very few people on the ship that have it, because this ship is primarily staffed with, young and low ranking officers. So, or people who spent most of their lives in detention camps.
Anyway, so I'll start beaming the people, starting with the ambassador,
Okay.
and then move on
And
to
then move on from there.
Yep.
Okay. In sickbay, Dr. Juwan appears, medically beaming in. You begin receive. Well, I assume that someone is going to notify you that you're about to start receiving casualties.
People start appearing on beds.
Yeah, Alira will Alira to sickbay. Please begin preparing for receiving emergency transports. At which point,
Standing by.
Juwan and a few others, Juwan and 3 others appear. So go ahead and since you've started doing the medical stuff, go ahead and give me a medicine roll for Juwan. Difficulty is 3 because would be 4, but because you have the information from the scans from Alira, difficulty is reduced by 1. Difficulty is 3. I have no threat to give you to spend. So, xenobotany or xenobiology, not botany. Xenobiology would apply if you have it. Internal medicine applies.
I'm gonna spend one of those momentums. Alright.
What'd you get there? Oh yeah, that's pretty good. 4, 5. I
5.
mean, so it's two momentum for the roll. She has severe internal injuries. A lot of internal bleeding. There is some shrapnel that went through the captain and into her, and has done some bouncing around and done some severe damage. She is not what you would call particularly stable. So, in medicine wise, internal medicine wise, like she's going to require some surgery for sure. And the injuries are, they are not a simple injury to resolve, especially since you don't have access to their blood for transfusions. You don't have access to any of their, stuff that you would need for doing medicine with them necessarily. So you have 2 momentum. Do you want to do anything with those 2 momentum? Any questions you want to ask?
Our replicators are down, correct?
Correct.
Engineering, how quickly can you get replicators back online?
He'll look sideways at Leon, then
Nyala.
Nala. He'll look sideways at her and go, "The replicators? You sure?" I'm right now. I'm trying to get the damage control systems up and running.
Also, life support is offline. That's also a high priority.
Well, she doesn't know anything about what's on and offline.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah. So, but he's asking you for sure. So.
Well, it's that, or to be fair, our Hadal gas swim certain are quite busy running around doing other things. If does he mention the life support systems are down?
Yeah, he'll mention that. I'm trying to get the basics up and running, Commander. it'd be nice to be able to create a martini on demand, but we've got other priorities right now.
Well, I'm less worried about a martini and more worried about a Bloody Mary, but understood.
Is the SSH still in Medbay, or was he uploaded into something?
He has not yet been uploaded.
Okay. Yes, Commander, this is exactly something that I would be far more useful at than handing out band-aids. I'm quite proficient in the repair of localized systems. I could attempt to get this particular replicator up and working.
Very well.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me an engineering roll.
You should add
Finally, a task
complication.
suitable.
You should add complication because we're siphoning power from the sickbay right now.
I don't have any threat left.
You can generate momentum. No, that's not how that works.
Not how that
Okay,
works.
fair enough.
I would say the difficulty is probably going to be.
You-
The difficulty
It
would probably
is-
still be 3 anyways, because of the.
It is within the rules that you set the complication regardless of whether you have threat or not.
Yeah.
It's really just that you
Technically,
can-
technically the meta currency for the GM doesn't mean anything.
Right.
With the information that we have from Valera and the information I now have from Joanne, are they compatible blood types?
They are not. The 2 of them are not.
We didn't get any from John, right? Just
You've
Valera?
not got any from John or Niala.
Okay.
You can. They're there. They're on the ship. But,
Not the time at
Right.
the moment. Presumably, at this point, Savi is under the impression that they are all just doing emergency things, and she's not going to pull them to donate blood.
right.
Quick, Ensign Lackey, I need some alien blood stat.
Okay.
Where do I get that from? For some reason now, Lackey is Gomer Pyle. Do a control
Stab
and
aliens. Get the right one.
right, yeah. Sooner or later, I'll find the right one. Control and engineering for the SSH.
Okay. Since you're out of this valuable GM meta currency, I can buy an extra die by giving you threat, right?
Yes.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
do
you
that.
could, but we have 6 momentum.
You can also mix.
Oh,
you
do
can
we?
also-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have some
Oh, then I'll
momentum.
just use momentum. All right.
You
very
could
good.
mix it.
You could also mix it. The complication range isn't going to be higher, but actually, you know what? I will make the complication range higher. I'll lower the difficulty to 2 because it should be 3, and I'll raise the complication by 2. So,
Okay, so 18, 19, 20.
yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And using how many momentum?
I will use just 1 momentum.
Just 1. Okay.
Yeah. I doubt any of my focuses. I have weapon maintenance and repair, but this isn't a weapon.
No.
And replicators are not similar enough to force fields.
No.
Okay. Yes, I'll just roll and see what happens. 3.
3. All right. It takes you a few seconds, but yeah, like a minute or a couple minutes, and you start fiddling around in there, and you do manage to get the replicator online.
Finally, a task worthy of my skill set. You do know I used to be a space station.
I'd forgotten in, the last 5 minutes since you've told me.
It's the last 5 minutes ago you told me.
Well,
All right.
you can now replicate away to your heart's content.
Well, things going the way it's going. I might need a few hearts. Do a
Which,
plug in.
unfortunately, you can't replicate.
Oh, sad face. She will plug in the parameters and ask it to replicate Hidal blood.
The system comes back and says that it is unable to replicate blood as the actual blood, but it can produce plasma instead, which is efficient for short term. So their Hidal blood is not compatible with our systems. I mean, it gives you some chemical strain that is too complex for our replicator systems.
Make do with what we've got.
All right. Let's see. Back. While you're undergoing basic, medical stabilizations there, Daphne makes her way onto the bridge. Since we're still dealing with medical stuff, we might as well do that.
I take it she comes through one of the working turbo lifts.
Well, you climb up one of the turbo lift shafts because now the turbo lifts are working.
Okay, so she'll
Probably pretty tired at this point, climbing up several decks.
Her normally fastidious appearance has definitely been marred by the exertion, the blast and the exertions, and she looks pretty rough and tumble right now, I think. So she'll say, Captain, permission to take a look at you.
If you can look from here on the bridge.
Of course. And she'll come forward, she'll break out the first aid kit and begin her examination.
Without a roll.
Getting in some cardio there, Lieutenant. You look a little winded.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but the ship is on complete melt. The ship is almost completely down. I had to find my way. Luckily, it just means I can skip leg day this week.
Without a scan, you can see the same thing that from earlier. So you get the idea, the basic idea that the captain's battery, the captain's power supply in his, that particularly manages his lung and his the upper aortic grafts that he's had are not functioning properly. So his body does not recognize the fact that he is getting oxygen, and he's not getting as much as he needs. So,
Captain, this is very serious. That your cybernetics seem to be heavily damaged. I'm not. Look, I can try and make sure that you will. I can try and stabilize your condition. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it without a full medical workup.
I just thought about how Gisa would handle this. Just shove a phaser into his body and turn it on.
Yeah.
Power him with the phaser. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I sent medical a list of wounded. There are others. I'm sure medbay is quite full.
You're not wrong, but your commander has that handled. This is serious. If you might be walking now, but it's only a matter of time before the power decays, and well, your heart will stop. There's no simple way to say it.
Well, you said a matter of time. Sounds like we still have some then.
She'll step back and she'll look up the commander up and down, or the captain up and down, and she'll say, "We've got an idea." And what she's going to do is she's going to hook him up to the captain's chair. She's going to like pull wires out of the arms and begin to link them to the cybernetics.
Okay. Give me a daring. Oh man, it should be engineering, but give me a daring and medicine if you want to, or that you can do. Damn it, I'll say daring and medicine with a higher complication range, or
can I get somebody else to assist me with an engineering role?
Yeah. Mills has remained stationed pretty much by the captain.
Yeah, she'll say to Mills, "Help me with these wires, will you? I don't know which of them are essential for function and which ones are just there. We need to get some. We need to get We need to get just the right amount of power, and it needs to be run through a high infusion capacitor.
Don't touch the green and white one.
You're gonna hook him up to 220 electrical. All right.
Try not to blow up my chest. I hate
right.
it when that happens.
So Mills, you can do daring and engineering as your assist role, and Brian, go ahead and do for Delphine. Give me a daring and medicine roll. I'm gonna say the difficulty is 3, and the complication range is gonna be +1, just to even everything out. The two of you working together, because this is this is the kind of stuff that nobody has ever done before.
Yeah, sure. I would like to spend a determination for Delphine.
Okay.
She has order from the chaos as a
focus.
Value.
That's what I meant. Value.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
that sounds legit.
Okay.
I'm making you value after this. That is Delphine tested, Dasavi approved.
And then does my emergency medicine focus apply on this?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Neat.
Still no assist from the ship, obviously. Oh man, you could hook up a readout. Oh man, all right, I got some ideas.
I will spend 3. I will spend 3 momentum for 2 dice. I know this is overkill, but we'll be generating momentum anyway.
Not overkill, because Mills is just kind of here for moral support today.
All right, so you get 3
She's
successes.
too worried that her hero's going to die. She can't focus.
Right.
I get 5 successes total, including
right. 3 successes plus your determination, which adds 2, so 5 total. You manage to get the captain hooked up, and you have 2 momentum to play around with. So, Ambrose, after several minutes that are, I'm assuming, incredibly painful with someone digging around inside of your body cavities, running wires out of your chair's console into your body, after she plugs something in finally, and there's like a little jolt of electricity, and your breathing gets way easier. You get a little lightheaded, in fact, because you've been kind of hypoxic for a while now, so you get that air back, and you're like a little bit lightheaded for a few seconds.
Delphine will apply some like a hydro thing to try to negate the lightheadedness, and she'll say, well, now you have the perfect excuse not to leave the bridge.
Very good. Not leaving my post now.
She'll look around for anybody else that needs medical assistance. I'm sure that other people do.
Yeah, some minor injuries here or there. The major injuries have either left or are super dead.
Yeah.
Can't fix super dead. All right. So the captain is now hooked up to the ship.
Did we say we got long-range communications?
Yes. Long-range communications communications are back up, whether they're long-range or not. She doesn't know if they're actually functional or not. But enough for a distress signal should be active, yes.
I want to see if we can contact 173.
Okay. Yeah. Who's on the bridge still to do that? Just NPCs, it looks like, and Mills, right?
I mean, I'd imagine I can just press a few buttons on my armchair / life support system.
Right. Push the wrong button. Oh, I can hear you. You're right here. Turn it down. You bring up the communications. The screen comes on. It's really garbled and clearly you're nearing the limits of the capacity of the system at the moment. This is Starbase 173. Go ahead, Europa.
This is Captain Ambrose of the Europa. Yes, we've been hit by some sort of spatial disturbance as best we can determine. We are heavily damaged, many injured crew members, and we've detected a number of ships in the region within the nearby sectors that seem to be experiencing the same problem. I was Has there been any complications at the starbase?
Starbase 173 has not experienced any difficulties at this time. However, we are receiving the distress signals from a number of ships. At the moment, we have determined it is at least 15 ships have been affected across 7 sectors. The energy wave appears to have originated, and the star, or near the star, designated as 7271, is, as far as we know, an uninhabited system.
Okay, I'm not sure how much use we'll be here. We're limping along trying to get ourselves steady. I'll do what I can to investigate, but I wanted to make sure that you were kept apprised.
We do have the Starship Ganymede in the system, near the system, currently assisting other vessels. Do you require us to redirect the Ganymede? We're presently
Only
helping
if no one else is.
We are presently helping non-Federation vessels.
My main concern is our Hidal guests. One of them is heavily injured and may need to be exfiltrated to her own people.
We will contact the Hidal and let them make them aware.
Very good.
Anything else, Captain?
That'll be all. Ambrose out.
Best of luck. Screen goes off. Anybody else have anything on the bridge you want to do?
Mills will return to her station and sort of see what she can shore up from a security standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah, what's it looking like outside? Are we plummeting towards a star?
No, you're drifting towards a planetary system, but you're currently on the, well, you're somewhat plummeting towards a Jovian planet, but at the moment you're far enough out that you've got quite a bit of time. You're a day or two away from being hurtled into a planet.
Okay.
You're kind of,
Please be big.
I should say, aiming towards it more than falling towards it. But if you take too long to get your engines back online, it'll be very bad for you.
Do our shuttles have
tractor beams?
Yeah.
At the very least, the runabouts do.
Because we could try to just nudge our course
right
with the tractor beams.
You could probably, realistically, you could probably tractor the shuttle or the ship, because I mean the runabouts are pretty powerful. They can pull back Jem'Hadar ships without too much trouble. So you have the means of towboating yourself around.
Captain to flight team, we need to get some runabouts out there and stabilize our trajectory, slow us down, get us pointed away from anything big.
Yes, sir. We're waiting on Lieutenant Shajin to make ready. Do you want the fighters out or a runabout?
We'll need the runabout's tractor beams to stabilize the ship's trajectory. Let's start there.
We're trying to find a way to decompress the shuttle bay without causing more problems. But as soon as we have a way to do it, we'll be out there.
It's low priority. We have a couple days before we hit anything.
Yes, sir. Let's go to the computer room where we still have O'Connor talking with John. Tong and Yezabeth have been working to get something resembling the computer systems back online. Give me a quick, this will be a repair. I didn't have you guys do a roll yet. So give me an engineering roll. Power systems and positronic systems would apply. Computer systems would apply. You're doing a pretty large amount of work.
Would this happen to be an extended task?
It should have been. I didn't do it as an extended task, but if you have something that gives you an extended task bonus, I'm not opposed to finding a way to modify that in.
I do have intense scrutiny, so whenever I succeed at a task using reason or control as part of an extended task, I can ignore 2 resistance. But if it's not an extended task,
yeah, it should have been an extended task, but I didn't set it up as one, so we'll just do it as a regular.
Okay.
I even said I was going to set up as a kind of task, and then it didn't. So, and we've progressed far enough now that I don't want to take the time to do as a task. So,
Can I spend momentum to say we have the right tools for the job?
Yeah, was that one momentum or
Yeah,
two? One.
Yes, Tong is here.
Yes.
Well, and then Yesbeth has a talent that the advantage is double. So
Okay.
this is right there. So do you want to do the primary role analysis?
Sure.
Okay.
So the difficulty is with that. The difficulty ends up being 0, right?
I guess so.
Difficulty was 2. You spent that, so that doubles it. So you did difficulty 0. So yeah, give me the roll.
Okay. Control engineering. I have focuses in both electroplasma power systems and EVA systems.
Yeah. That applies.
You said this is a difficulty 0?
It is now difficulty 0, yes.
Okay. Are we sitting on momentum?
You have 3 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see if we can generate a little bit more. Regular complication range, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take one of those momentum for an extra die and see if we can generate a little bit more. Spend some to make some. All right, that's 4 from me.
All right. And 1 from Elizabeth, so that's 5, which overdoes it.
Can we spend some of this momentum to say we also get the environmental systems online? The main computer online?
Sure. Once you get EVA online, actually a lot of stuff's going to come back online. So, yeah, the 2 of you are working, and you're getting close. You find a single bioneural gel pack that has been damaged. Other than that, you found that EVA's system is designed essentially to protect the positronic matrix, so it shuts off it basically has a giant circuit breaker. So you are going in and figuring out the circuit breaker system and fixing that. You did have 1 bioneural gel pack you had to replace, but other than that, things aren't too bad in there.
It's like those Christmas lights when just one is just slightly out of whack, just turns the whole thing off.
Right. Or like half of them flash now and you can't figure out why. So you managed to replace that 1 gel pack, and anything you guys want to do in roleplay wise in there. But as you pop that last piece in, Tong, you push it in and do the tighten it down as Yezabeth is doing the quick system calibration to the pack. At which point the lights and stuff in the room come back on, and you can hear the environmental systems coming back on and the CO2 scrubbers working overtime.
Fresh air. Eva, are you with us now?
I am, Lieutenant. Thank you very much. You've done an excellent job, both of you.
Good. If we have to get you one, we have to make that holographic body so I can give you a hug.
She, without seeing it a holographic body, you just get the impression that she nodded, as much as a skull can grin.
Do you have Eva? Do you have connection with the rest of the ship? They all need you.
I am beginning my evaluation of the ship's systems. I am extending diagnostics to all available systems. Stand by. It appears I have environmental systems returned. Communications are back online. Stand by. Communications are now now fully restored. Sensors are back online. Shields are offline. Weapons are offline. Propulsion is offline. All other systems are returning to normal.
Okay. Shields, weapons, propulsions. We should probably prioritize the shields, probably.
Well, that's what Captain Ambrose would want.
Right. Eva, did you get any sensor data telemetry at all right before this happened? Do you have any idea what exactly hit us?
As far as I can tell, it was a large energy wave. I do not have its specifics as to the type of energy that it was.
Maybe it left some residual polarization in the hull. We might be able to analyze that. Perhaps calibrate our shields to nullify or lessen the effect if it happens again.
It may be possible. I will begin an analysis.
Very good. Okay.
Yezebeth looks troubled, and she'll say, "Our sensor should have picked up something, unless the wave was moving faster than the speed of light."
Our sensors were down with the retrofits.
No, they hadn't gone down yet.
But they hadn't. Oh
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Yes, that is very concerning.
No, they were going to go down, and the captain put a halt to it right before you guys turned everything off.
Okay. Why,
So
why didn't we detect it?
No. We'll get the ship up and running, and then we'll figure out this mystery.
Okay. Well, Eva's fixed. I guess I can. I'll go to engineering.
It sounds like they need help with the shields. You better head to the deflector dish.
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
I'll try and get propulsion back online. Good. It's good working with you, Tom.
Right. Yes. Ensign Page.
Sorry, I forgot you outranked me. Yeah, and then she'll awkwardly smile and leave.
Tong's just gonna hurry out of the room.
Bolt.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
So Yezebeth is going to head to the bridge, or she's heading to engineering?
Propulsion. She'd head probably to like the impulse engines, wherever she. Her priority is going to be getting engines back online, which I don't think she's going to succeed because we
broke them.
But she's going to try. That's not going to stop her.
Right. So, as they're heading out of the room, John is looking at, is listening into everything that's going on, and
oh yeah, we just left O'Connor there with the kid.
Right.
Okay.
What's so the ship is fixed now? Everything's better?
Well, not everything. We got a few things that are still down, but the really important stuff is up.
Oh, that's good. I wonder where everybody else is.
We can find out. Eva.
Yes, Lieutenant? Ensign. Ensign. Yes, Ensign O'Connor.
Can you show us where the Hadal dignitary, or not dignitary, is the wrong word.
Science team.
Yeah, the science team.
At this time, I am detecting Engineer Lyra is on deck 7. Engineer Nyala is in main engineering. John is in library access control, and Dr. Jawan is in sickbay.
There you are.
She's in. I wonder if she's. Okay.
What?
Well, just she's in sickbay. Why is? I mean, I suppose a lot of people are in sickbay. All right.
Probably just got a little knocked around during the attack, whatever happened.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We should help the Eva figure out what caused all of this.
Sure, we can do that. Here, look. You come over here, and she'll take him to one of the consoles. So this is our sensor system. This is the readout from right before everything happened. Did you hear when Eva said that she wasn't really sure what happened? She didn't pick anything up?
Yeah. Then she said she was gonna run she's gonna look into it, right? So Eva, what did you find? Have you found anything from your analysis? She brings up a print, a readout of what's of the stuff that's there, of the readout that is the analysis she's already begun. Wow, she's fast. We should look at these things. And he starts like actually pretty quickly moving over some of the data that's there. Go ahead and give me a science roll. Since you're a sciencey people. And Eva can assist finally.
Yay! Computer analysis systems? Or no?
Yeah, sure. You're doing a computer analysis. Oh, look at that, Eva. Well done.
Right. All of my characters are very useful except Mills today.
Right. No, he's not very helpful. The ship does though, and you've got 4, 3, so 5 total. The difficulty was 2, so you've got 3 momentum, and you have them all to do whatever you want with because you've got, I think, 6 momentum currently stocked. So these 3 are for questions if you want to ask them. As you're going over it, Mills, you see that it appears to be, there's a lot of signature from as if it was some kind of subspace disturbance, like something in subspace hit the ship, which is, not something that has ever happened before. Like that is a really weird thing to have happened. You have 3 questions. If you have any questions to ask, that is.
Yeah, no, I'm catching up.
Gotcha.
So she will look over the data. That's interesting. What do you see here?
Well, it looks like something from the slipstream systems has caused a breach in real space, or not a breach necessarily, but a wave, some kind of compression anomaly, perhaps.
Very common. I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't think I said common, but
what's that?
I don't think I think a compression anomaly.
Yeah, no, I said that's not very common.
Oh, okay. I thought you said. Think I've ever seen that. I got you. Yeah. I don't know very much about the way that the slipstream systems work, but this is something that I think my mom was talking about. Something like this can happen if a ship is destroyed while in slipstream. Although I don't know if that's exactly what this is.
What would O'Connor know about slipstreams? Because Evelyn.
Almost nothing. It's not a technology the Federation uses.
Okay. This is their technology.
Yeah, it's a theoretical thing that Starfleet's been working on for years, but they've never gotten anywhere with it. They went the transwarp route, which is similar but not the same. The Borg use slipstream. I think you know that. Maybe only Voyager knows that.
Well, the Borg use just what you said.
Oh, I think it's the transwarp conduits. That's right.
Yeah.
The only people who use slipstream is the future Dauntless.
Right.
Voyager.
Okay. Nonetheless, you don't know anything about it necessarily. There's very little that you know. It's theoretical, as far as Starfleet's concerned.
That's from a whole other Gene Roddenberry series.
Yes.
Eva, do we have a status on the Mackinac?
There are no updated status reports on the Mackinac. As far as I'm aware, they're still in the valley.
Okay. What other? O'Connor is asking this. Do you know what other ships have been upgraded with this slipstream technology?
No other ships at this time have other than the Mackinac, no ships in Starfleet have experienced any upgrades from the Hadal.
Did the Mackinac get slipstream?
Did not.
Okay.
But it did not. No, they're not giving you slipstream technology. They're just giving you. They're putting you on a step that's a little bit closer to it by refining your systems.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would have to be one of their ships that exploded in slipstream, if that is actually what happened.
If that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
In that case, O'Connor would not have asked that. That was a misunderstanding on my end.
Okay.
Do we have? Any information of the Hadal ships in the area?
No. Eva has no. I have no information regarding Hadal ships in the area. Although it is likely that there are ships within range of our current location.
Can you pinpoint where the wave came from?
With the information that I presently have, as well as information that has been obtained from Starbase 173, it appears that the situation has began in System 7271, an uninhabited system. As far as we are aware, an uninhabited system that has been otherwise uncharted by Federation ships or probes.
She'll look at John. Do you know if you have people over there?
I don't. It's just a number. I don't know where it's at.
Oh, here. Pull up the map.
He looks at us like, I don't know anything about it. No.
Okay. Science to bridge.
This is the captain.
Captain Eston O'Connor. Eva is back online. It would appear the wave originated in System 7271, which is inhabited by the Federation and unexplored by our probes. John here says that theoretically, this sort of wave could occur if a ship with the slipstream technology explodes.
While in
To his
slipstream.
knowledge, what's that?
While in slipstream.
While in slipstream. To his knowledge, the Hadal don't have any people in 7271, but this is the caveat that this is the knowledge of a 14-year-old boy.
Okay, good work down there. That's good to know. See if you can figure out any way to detect something like this in the future and how to prevent any more of this damage.
Sure. And O'Connor will get to work on piecing together what information we have of the energy signatures from the wave and trying to plug that into sensor and shield systems.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to calm down to engineering.
Who's going to? Oh, calm down. I'm like, you're not going anywhere.
No, nope.
Going to turn that thing into a wheelchair and go around all Professor X style next.
Captain in engineering.
This is Castro.
Very good. I see we got a lot of our functionality back online now that we have EVA operational. What's the status of our engines?
They overloaded. It's going to take some time to sort things out. We're not going anywhere any very quick. I've got a team on it, but I hope I hope whatever you want to get to can come to us.
Well, I think it'll take quite a while for a star system to make its way over here. We need
All right.
propulsion as soon as you can get it. I want to know where this came from and what happened.
All right, but I'm not responsible.
Prioritize shields and then propulsion.
I've got enough people we can work on both.
Very good.
All right, but keep in mind, I'm not responsible for overtime.
We're not
That's
a
a joke.
Ferengi ship here. You're not getting paid.
That's a joke, Captain.
Nyala and looks to you and says, "At least we have main systems back online." I feel bad. What's that?
Getting those online will help us get the rest of it online.
Yes. If you give me some time, I can do some more research on your impulse engines, and maybe I can do something.
Maybe it'd be best if now that we're in a little bit less of an emergency situation, maybe it'd be best if we left this to the people, left it to the people whose machines exist.
If you insist. I should go check on the doctor anyways. Make sure that she's all right.
Probably a good idea. I appreciate the help, though. I really do.
It was good to meet you, Lieutenant Commander. I look forward to that drink.
Once we get the replicators up and running again.
She just nods and heads out.
Okay.
I think. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do you think we can handle the rest of the repairs? Because it seems kind of like we're on our way to getting it fixed.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking it's 10 o'clock, and this session took. I did not anticipate how long it was going to take because I just didn't think through enough when I was doing it. So I don't want to go too much farther. I want the next set of things that are going to happen. I think just next time, the next major conflict that will happen.
Well, then can we maybe have a couple like interpersonal scenes once most of the ship is up and running?
Yeah,
we haven't yet departed for where we're going.
Yeah,
because I feel like,
well, sort of. The next scene will actually have someone showing up, so we can. You guys aren't going to get engines back till the end of the session, but you're welcome to do everything short of it. I mean, shields you can get back online. Everything else, we'll keep engines offline just a little bit longer, and you guys can do pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I just want to have a couple like interpersonal scenes. You know?
Go for it.
We had a lot that happened. We'd love to see some follow-ups on us. You know.
Yeah, what you guys want?
Like right now, bedtime. That's what I want.
Did you have anything in mind that you wanted to do, Brian?
I think Delphine is going to make sure that the captain gets properly looked at. You know, once the emergency situation has abated, once she's sure he's stable, and the Jezebeth will at some point just collapse, exhausted from the day's work. Once everything's up and running, you know, maybe we don't have anything. Maybe I was just.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Between this session and next session, we'll advance time a little bit enough to get forward some more of the repairs. I definitely, as I said, I wanted to have another thing happen before you guys have engines back. So we'll do that at the beginning of next session, and you guys can have. In the cold open next session, we'll get some of those things that you guys wanted to do, and then the ship will arrive. That's coming, and we'll take it from there. It's kind of an awkward place to end, but time is running short, so because we had a late start today. So, with that, does anyone have any moments to stand out most of them tonight? Just kind of a blah. Not a lot going on.
I'm just super sleepy.
Yeah.
I think Delphine and the jury rigging the captain to the chair.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was great.
That worked out pretty well. That was just a thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very creative thinking.
It's definitely a unique solution.
It was really thematic too.
Yeah.
I like Mills rappelling down the turbo lift shaft. I know it was a minor scene, but
Silva, not Mills.
Silva, Silva rappelling down the turbo lift shaft.
Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to mention, I love having the one focus that you don't think you take for anything, but then it becomes useful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was a fan of being able to see people out of their element too. It's nice to have characters who are completely out of their element doing the things that need to be done.
Yeah, the SSH was really cool this session. I liked him being all haughty. He's like haughty in a different way than the EMH from Voyager, and it worked out well, I thought.
Yeah, I enjoyed having the conversations between the EMH and the SSH. I thought that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I thought of a comeback just a second too late.
I like that I felt like I was like the EMH was picking on you, and then had that moment of camaraderie. Also, you know, like you're still better than they are.
Mm-hmm. Don't you know I used to be a space station?
Yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to add to that, or good idea, bad idea? I liked the idea of using getting the transporters up and doing that, and just trying to find the creative ways around things. So I thought you guys were thinking outside the box a bit today. I liked.
I really liked us being siloed into different groups. I thought that was really interesting. I do think that maybe it should have had a little bit more of a concrete roll mechanic, like where we succeed at 4 rolls and then we get the ship enough running up. It felt a little sometimes like we were doing rolls to see if we could do rolls. You know what I mean?
Well, it was always rolls to do specific things on the ship, but yeah, I had intended to do it as a joint like action, like a joint. What do they call them? Extended task.
Yeah.
And then I just forgot to set it up. That's just me just not being on today. It's an off day. They can't all be winners, Brian.
No, I mean,
I feel like it was disruptive.
I think the session was a winner. Like I really enjoyed like all the interpersonal connections, and like you did really good job of like setting up dynamics of scenes, and then those dynamics changed in interesting ways. So I enjoyed the session. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I liked seeing each individual party actually like really feel isolated, because we rely so much on just being able to slap our chest and talk to whoever we want to. So when communications goes down, you just feel so isolated. And then especially from Ambrose, one arm out of control, can't breathe. He's not climbing down a turbo lift shaft.
Right.
You can't. It's a whole thing just to get doors open. It really you did a good job making each individual room feel isolated.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's definitely my good idea. It's like this whole thing was fun.
Yeah. I was trying to find a way to do this episode because you had talked about doing the Cosmic String episode, which is the Captain's Day, I think is what it's called, where they're stuck there
with the kids
and all that stuff, and they're kind of stuck doing all that. That's kind of where I got the idea for this one, and I kind of wanted to add it into this because I needed a way to do certain things. So, and we did not get to the we didn't get to the bodily autonomy portion of the crux, which we ran out of time, so that'll come up next session.
Okay.
So another spoiler warning for next session. If you could change one thing about the session, what would it be? I would like to have gotten a proper start.
Yeah.
Really it always comes back to more time with me, but I know we all have our schedules. I don't think there was anything we could have cut. I just wish we could, because you're right. I feel like we were just about to get to that important like closing point. Like we're just shy of a good button. Yeah.
I would have liked. We needed another hour, which we'd have gotten close to another hour if I'd been able to get online on time today. But just today's schedule didn't work out the way it should have. But I will know tomorrow if we're going to be on next week. So right now we're planning for next week. Worst case scenario, we'll be off for 1 week and then we'll be back. But I'm pretty sure we'll be back next week. I don't have anything else to add. Do you guys have anything you want to throw out to the audience before we go? All right. Well,
if we're just doing closing announcements, come hang out with me and all the cool people that I have on my channel, including Brian up here somewhere. throughout the week. We got games tomorrow and Thursday, and a double feature potentially on Sunday.
Right.
So twitch.tv/The People's Ascension. We're raising money for the National Abortion Federation and Center for Reproductive Rights.
And I will be on your Star Trek Adventures game on Thursday.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Thursday, 6 p.m. EST. I'm going to be running my own one shot of Star Trek Adventures, and Jeff here is going to be part of that.
First time I've been able to play a game since Brian's game, which was not streamed. So on that note, I don't have anything else. You can find me and Europa and all the other things at linktree/UdoTembo. Check us out on Discord. You can join the Discord server, either the Starfleet Command Discord, which is all things Star Trek adventures, and really it's all things Star Trek, really. We've been having some good discussions about Lower Decks lately. You can also join me on the Studio Tembo server. Feel free to join us there, or on TikTok, or any of the places that you want. There is also a Facebook page. Go check out the link tree. You'll find all the stuff. I don't have anything else. I thought it was a pretty good session.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
Agreed.
Have a good night. So long, and thanks for all the fish.